Dramatic music. Blah blah.
Blah blah.
Blah blah. Dramatic music condenses.
Yeah.
What's up? You hug me? Aww. Look at you making your way across the screen to hug me. Slowly but surely, you're just coming up, though. Oh, almost there. Up, up. There it is.
Hey.
There it is. That was such a long journey. You traveled from across the entire screen, Tigers.
Oh my god, that music slap.
Yeah, it is. I already turned it down a lot on stream. But let's do a new journey with the Yawning Arisu. Ooh. This experience is all about exploration and self-discovery. The testing chamber has many hidden mysteries to uncover if you so choose to take advantage of all it has to offer. Each time you enter a new chamber, your progress will be saved and you'll be unable to return from where you came. It is important to explore each area as much as you can while you can in order to get the most out of your experience. Some events throughout the experience can only be unlocked through exploration and finding hidden pieces to puzzles. If you move on from an area too quickly before finding these pieces, you may miss out on future opportunities to unlock secrets you come across later. We urge you to choose your actions wisely. It is recommended that you play this game in the dark while wearing headphones for full atmospheric effect and ambiance. You may play using a controller, keyboard, and mouse, and you may adjust your key bindings to see fit in the options menu. We hope you enjoy your journey as it unfolds, and we wish you safe travels through the testing chamber. Memorial of the Fallen. Ooh, okay, so this is like an actual full game. Here. Wait, why do I still have ads? I don't know. Twitch has been doing that for people, and I don't know why, but hi, Turtle. A cold wind blows, making the pouring rain that much colder. The constant sting of heavy downpour is almost unbearable on your bones as your tattered attire offers you little protection from the harsh elements. Firelight flickers wildly in the distance, beckoning you onward. Oh, look!
Hi, Turtle.
There's no point in looking backwards. You're not going that way. Eastern path, the Lady's Scales. Western path, the testing chamber. Butterfly wings wanted. These winged beasts are unwelcome plague in this land. All butterflies are to be captured and plucked apart on sight. Rest in peace. Mark Edwards. Forever loved, never forgotten. Felix Zaravids, always in our minds, forever in our hearts. A wooden grave mark tethered with ropes for you. What do you want to do? Read the grave marker. Here rests Sloth. Time waits for no one. Time will pass on with or without you. In a year from now, you can be a year ahead, or you can look back at your life a year prior and find yourself standing in the exact same position that you are right now. You don't have to want to move forward, but you do have to move. Sloth, my friend, is the enemy of greatness. Oh, God. Oh, dope. Bye. Hiya, tiger. Hiya. Rest in peace. Sloth. A large iron flagpole stands solitary before you. A royal red banner blows freely in the wind, honoring the souls of the dead that lay beneath your feet. Rest in peace. Sean Williams. You will be eternally missed. A beautiful assortment of flowers are arranged to commemorate those who are no longer with us. The flame stands within the brazier. Light flickers and dims just to wildly reignite with every breeze or gust of wind passing by. A large stone mausoleum stands before you. A solid stone door guards the entrance. You get the sense that if you decide to venture forward, there might be no coming back. What would you like to do? Let me see over here first. Kitty! Kitty! You notice a small cat-like creature wandering around aimlessly. What would you like to do? Pet the kitty!
Pet the kitty.
Reach down to inspect the tags that are securely fastened to the collar of the animal. It reads Lily Liz. Lily Lils. You give Lily Lils a gentle pat on the head. Meow. A twinkling light radiates from the crystallized object nestled amongst the flowers. What would you like to do? Take it! You grab the twinkling object. It appears to be an encrusted flower petal, crystallized and preserved over time. Crystalline petal. Oh. You see a shadowy visage of royalty appear briefly at the corner of your eye. You hear a faint whisper on the wind. She loves me? She loves me not? The visage disappears just as quickly as it came. A sculpture of a woman holding a set of golden scales stands tall before you. As you gain upon its architecture, you begin to get the sense that the lack of balance between the scales represents something within yourself. Can I pet her again?
See why you wouldn't be able to.
Up, down, dash, OK, X. What are these key bindings?
Yes. And you change them? Oh, you can change this in WASD movement. Are you using controller though? I don't know.
I didn't think I'd have to like actually configure controls because these games never had controls really.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can just click on WASD movement.
That's what I did.
Did you?
Yeah, I just did. That's what I was doing.
Yeah. I'm slow.
I was changing it one by one to up, down, left, right. It doesn't look like there's much else I can do, so I guess let's go. Let's go. Open the door. You give the heavy stone door a solid push as it begins to open. The darkness emanating from the mausoleum is impenetrable. Something beckons you from within. The pungent smell of dirt and trapped rainwater floods in the cavern air. You descend a rope into the unknown. Your game has been successfully saved.
Yeah.
A rusted mining pick leans gently against the cavern wall. The hand is splintered and weak. This tool has surely seen better days, but it served its purpose well. A small butterfly flutters near you. It appears to have a broken wing. What would you like to do? Pluck the wings from the butterfly. You begin to pull the wings from the butterfly and stuff into a small wooden lockbox for safekeeping. You have acquired butterfly wings. I like how it gave us like a heart icon. Like, why was that a heart icon? Right? Oh, yay! Heart icon. I plucked the wings of a butterfly. Others won't remember the most beautiful face, nor the most beautiful body. At the end of the day, they will remember the most beautiful heart and soul. The severed wings seem to be spasming even after they've been removed from the creature. An unmined ore protrudes from the cavern floor. Glimmers of copper shine here in between the rock and the dirt. Nothing left here but a pile of precious stone and dirt. The vein has been stripped of all potential value. A twinkling light radiates from the crystallized object, particularly buried in the dark floor. Would you like to do? You reach out and grab the twinkling object. It appears to be an encrusted flower petal, crystallized and preserved over time. A shadowy visage of royalty appears once again. You hear the same faint whisper just like the time before. She loves me not. I knew it! And once again it disappears. A wide array of potions and elixirs fill the shelves, though they appear to be far past their expiration dates. A plethora of old books line the dusty wooden shelves. Most of the pages are disconnected from the spines, and the ink on the parchment has become illegible and lost to time. Flame stands within the brazier. Light flickers and dims just to wildly reignite with every razor gust. Okay. Malachus, you've come a long way to find this place, wanderer. Let's hope this search is not in vain. Behind me lies the testing chamber. If you wish to enter, I must warn you first. Upon entry, you will not be able to return. You will go deeper, and deeper, and deeper into the chamber. You will wander. You will search. You will be watched, and you will be judged. As you delve deeper, you will be unable to return from whence you came. But most importantly, you will have the opportunity to find the answers you seek. However, all knowledge comes with a price, and you must reveal the darkest secrets you hold dear to an unseen force to which you know nothing about. Only then will you gaze upon the very reflection of your soul. Remember to take your time and explore every inch, every corner, every dark crevasse that exists within. Whatever you decide to put into the testing chamber will be exactly what you get out. Now go, Wanderer. Enter the testing chamber and claim what belongs to you. You'll be asked to make decisions and choices that cannot be undone, and in time you'll be asked a series of questions on which you must provide your darkest truths. Your honesty is of grave importance. For if you try to cheat your way through the testing chamber, the only person you're cheating is yourself. You'll be asked to carry out a series of tasks. Some of these tasks will be rather simple, and some of these tasks will have you questioning yourself, questioning your morals, and above all else, questioning your resolve. The most important thing to remember to take your time. Do not rush. Keep your eyes peeled and senses alert for secrets hiding in plain sight. The testing chamber is home to many hidden events, unique experiences, and unknown entities. And before I let you go, just know this. Every move you make, every breath you take, I'll be watching you, Wanderer. May your journey be filled with the answers you seek. The welcoming room. Firelight flickers in the distance. You are unsure of where you are, but you get the sense that perhaps you shouldn't be here. Well, it's too late now. A small butterfly flutters near you. It's missing a few of its legs. What would you like to do? Flick the wings.
Oh, it's not. Oh, they're full.
Why? Sometimes life refuses to give you things you wish for. It's not always because you don't deserve them. Oftentimes it's because you deserve better and you just can't see what life has in store for you. It gives its life for you, Wanderer. An old journal made from thick animal skin parchment sits atop a wooden table. It has a list of questions with blank spaces for answers to be written. What would you like to do? You begin to read questions from the journal. You ink your answers upon the pages using a vial of crimson liquid that sits next to the book. Do I have any obsessions that you would consider to be unhealthy? Ice cream? Am I wrong?
Really?
If you were on a jury, would you be willing to convict somebody of a crime that you feel shouldn't even be illegal? I mean, it doesn't matter what I feel about the case. It matters if it is, in fact, illegal, right?
Yeah.
If you're on a jury, you're here to help determine if they broke the law, not your views on the law. So, yes.
Yeah.
If one of your vital organs is damaged beyond repair and one of your closest family members offers to give you a transplant, however it means sacrificing their life in the process to do so, would you accept their offer? No. Screw that. Keep your organs.
Yeah.
If you were offered one item of your choosing, whatever it is you'd wish to be, but in order to obtain it, you had to put on 100 pounds of body weight and then lose 100 pounds within the next year, would you do it?
Yes.
I'd say no, because I don't even know what I'd choose. Like, that'd be too much stress just to choose what I want. Right? That's me. I'm indecisive. So for me to choose just one item, and it's like so vitally important that I have to like gain 100 pounds and lose 100 pounds within the next year, is it really... Like, I don't think I'd be able to choose. If I can't immediately think of something, there's nothing that important, right?
Yes.
If it doesn't, at least to me, if it doesn't immediately come to my mind, it probably is not that important to me. So I'm going to go ahead. At least for me, I'm going to choose no. If you knew that the love of your life would get dementia and lose all memory of who you were in 5 years from now, would you continue to pursue a relationship with them, at least up until they've forgotten who you were? Sure. Yeah. I mean, why not? Would you trade everything you have in life as it currently stands for a brand new life of your choosing? Probably not. I mean, I'm pretty okay with things right now. I'm busy all the time, but like, I'm okay with things right now. Relatively. Relatively.
Relatively.
Would you consider
Can't get
yourself
that
to be
VR
warm-hearted? I'd like to think I am, right? I try to help.
Yeah.
I'll be helpful. I think I am. I hope I am. Do you believe you have a dark mind? I don't know, man. I do constantly talk about murdering people. I do constantly talk about, like, are you sure you're not scared of me tigers? No, you think I might? You don't think I'm gonna murder you at some point? Like, Do I have a dark sense of humor? I literally just joked about murdering you. If an alien race took over planet Earth, would you join them and betray the human race if it meant your survival? That one's kind of dependent. But typically for these kinds of games, what they say is like you make the circumstances. So whatever circumstances you come up with for it, use those kind of. Like it would kind of be dependent upon like if the alien race is overall better, right? But if there's even a slight chance that I would, I'm just gonna click yes. Would you consider yourself to be a loyal person? I'd say so. Just ignore the fact that I just said I would betray the human race. I mean, loyal person does not mean I have to be loyal to the human race.
Yeah.
Do you believe that freedom is the most important aspect of life? The most important aspect? No. I should probably move Dwagoon. Hold on. I just realized I should probably... Don't redeem Dwagoon things because he's not going to be here. So you guys can read too. I'm going to click no. If you knew what that a meteor was headed straight for Earth and it would mean the extinction of the human race, would you board a shuttle and head on to a colony on Mars? Nah, I can die with everyone else. Do you ever wonder if there's someone out there who's almost exactly like you in every conceivable way? I mean, yeah, it's probably gonna happen sometime. Do you ever get a sense that you're being watched even when you're certain that you're alone? That's called paranoia, hun. You finish inking your final answer into the journal. The crimson ink begins to swirl and form symbols on the page when you provided your answers. The final page of the journal appears to be considerably torn. It also seems to be made of a different parchment material than the rest of the journal. Perhaps this will be of use. Your decisions have been noted. Your mark has been left. How do you feel, Wanderer? What is it like to traverse these... Oh, I did not mean to click. A blood-soaked journal sits atop a wooden table. Strange symbols cover the page where you've written your answers. The rotten carcass of a swine rests atop the table. It appears to be only half cooked as baked meat mixes the rotten decayed flesh. Old dusty clock sits on the wall. The hands of the clock have stopped and frozen on 1:11. 1:11. Remember that. 1:11.
1:11.
The twinkling light radiates from the crystallized object switch into a small crack at the bottom of the stone wall. Let's take it. You reach out and grab the twinkling object that needs to be encrusted with a little parable. She loves me? She loves me? Yep. A dusty leather pouch resides here. What would you like to do? Reach into the bag. Inside the bag rests a wisdom token. It floats into your pocket as if it belonged to you. Your decision has been noted. Your mark has been left. Uh-oh. A stone statue of a veiled woman stands tall before you. Her expression is cold and stoic. What would you like to do? Lay a token at the feet of the statue. You lay the token at the statue's feet. You hear a voice echo in your mind. Attraction plants the seed. Reflection grows our desire. Mirror the things we need. Flourish in what we admire. Attraction plants the seed. Reflection grows our desire. Mirror the things we need. Flourish in what we admire. This feels important. I'm just gonna put that there. You have paid tribute and received a blessing from the woman. Your decision has been noted. Your mark has been left. You hear glass shatter in the distance. It's empty. Glass shattered? The large crack lines in the stone wall. Minor degradation have taken hold of the foundation and pillars holding this room up. Where did the glass shatter? The clock? You gaze deeply into the mirror. Something begins to pull you in. The halls of purgatory. You've somehow managed to find your way behind the mirror. How you get here is beyond your understanding, but the more important question you must ask yourself is just how you're going to find your way out. As odd as it may seem, the welcome sight of the blood-soaked sheets... blood-soaked bed that rests on the dirty floor in the corner is almost comforting, though it's probably best not to rest in a place like this. Yes, I am checking every single one of these. The stillness, the silence, the abyssal darkness in the depths below. You wonder how deep it goes. You hear what it sounds like breathing down below, as if there's something lurking in the darkness. You can't help but wonder what might be gazing back at you from below. What would you like to do? Walk away real quick? Wait, what? I want to come back to it. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Feed them all. What am I feeding it, though? Right? Feed it? Behold not what the abyss desires. Your attempt has been noted.
There's something back there. Maybe that's what it wants.
A small cat-like creature running around aimlessly. What would you like to do? Pet the kitty. You reach down to inspect the tags of the suit. No! Libby Lib. She's so happy.
Feed it to the mall.
No.
Yeah.
A bloodstained altar stands before you. Upon the altar rests a tattered diary. What would you like to do? Read it. Your decision has been noted. Your mark has been left. First entry. We all grow frantic. We begin to panic. Impending doom looming over us now. Antagonistic antics, we grow manic. We spiral as we plummet to the ground. We pray for the winged ones to come and save us from our fall. We pray to the watchful ones to guide us before we lose it all. We pray for sickness, health, greed, and wealth, mercy, or reprieve. All our prayers that we shout in vain to a God to whom we don't believe. But we must ask this of you before you decide to go. There's just one thing we wonder, desperately wishing to know. Just what would you do if you only knew that the God you don't believe in doesn't even believe in you? Signed, the Madman. It's giving me From God's Perspective vibes by Bo Burnham.
We should watch that show.
We should. A small rusty key rests on the page of the diary. I got a rusty key. A twinkling light radiates from a crystallized object. A whistling noise seems to be coming from the object. What would you like to do? Take it. Reach out and grab the twinkling object. A whistling noise comes from it, though. She loves me not. Before you sits an old, rotted wooden chest. It appears to be locked tight. Open the chest. You use the key to open the chest. The lock clicks open with a single turn, and the key turns to dust in your hand. Inside the chest rests a dark vial of bubbling black liquid. It disappears from the chest within the blink of an eye and somehow manages to find itself securely in the palm of your hand. Corrosive. Your decision has been noted. Your mark has been left. Before you stands an old iron gate. You try to open it, but the gate won't budge. You throw the bottle of corrosive at the iron gate. It disintegrates before your eyes. Butterfly, 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 butterfly.
You're plucking wings from butterflies, but you're not gonna feed the cat to the mall.
Yes. Imagine if you had given up the last time you felt like your whole world came crashing down. Think of all the amazing moments you would have missed. Wisdom has been granted. What if I throw myself into the mall?
Maybe. Maybe that is like, that's probably like the way out. So I would like look around first.
Will it?
Yeah. That's probably like the next
I should
area.
be careful clicking then, because I'm pretty sure throwing yourself into the mall is the first option.
Yeah, yeah.
Feed them all. You hold not what the abyss desires. Your attempt has been noted. A blood-soaked doll sits in the corner of the room. Her eyes are fixated on you and seem to follow you wherever you move. It almost looks as though its head moves slightly, but it could just be your mind playing tricks on you. Upon closer inspection, you notice the doll is wearing a ring around one of her bloody fingers. What would you like to do? Walk away. I can't read that. I don't know if that's meant to be readable.
Stay away, maybe?
An old noose sits on the table. Thick layers of dried blood coat the old dusty rope. Flakes of crimson beneath begin to crumble off the noose and onto your hands, absorbing sweat and melting into your fingers like thick, sticky paint. Take the noose with me.
That one says help.
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 Flakes of the crimson coat your fingers and stain them red. Let's maybe not die. Sits on the wall. Dried blood seems to have found a home upon its case. Have stopped and frozen at 222. An old journal made from thick animal skin parchment sits atop the wooden table. It has a list of questions. Yep. Let's fill the blank answers in. Do you have a favorite number? No. Do you have a favorite color? Yes. Do you have any superstitions that you genuinely believe?
Yes.
Like what?
Monsters in the dark. Ghosts.
No. I don't think I do.
And choose no.
Life is short. Do you agree with this statement? Yeah. Have you ever cut anyone out of my life completely? Yes. Have you ever felt like you've deserved a second chance? Me? No? Question mark? No? Do you believe that you can accomplish anything you put your mind to? You see, it depends. Because there's like that dude that got surgery to become Korean, okay? And I'm not sure that can make him Korean, so... right?
I mean, he would look somewhat Korean.
But he isn't Korean.
Yeah, he's not Korean.
So, like, not really? Other than, like, something like that, then yeah. If you try hard enough, or, like, you get the means to do it, yeah. Would you say that you put a high personal value in family? Not really. Have you ever felt unloved? Sure. I'm sure we all have. Same for that one. I'm sure we all have. Do you ever wonder if anyone's thinking about you? Tigers, are you thinking about me?
Always.
Wah. Do I think about others often? Yes. Would you say that you're a considerate person? I like to think I am. I try to be. I have my moments, and I'm sure we all have our moments, but I try to be a considerate person. Do I ever feel like others don't always consider your feelings? I mean, yes, but I also don't always consider others' feelings. Sometimes it's just not the first thing on your mind, right?
Yeah.
We all have our lives. Sometimes we aren't spending our lives focusing on how other people are feeling all the time. It's just kind of how we are. We have our own things to focus on.
Yeah.
Hold up, I'm getting tagged that people have joined, and I have to go give them roles. Now let's see event music. I'm gonna edler these. Why do people have to have fancy names, man?
People want to be special.
Stop being special. Oh, whoops. Do you ever feel undervalued? To a degree. It depends. Like right now at Loading Sensations, no offense, y'all, but like they can kind of brushing off my requests for some stuff, so kinda. The final page of the journal appears to be considerably torn. Also, yeah. We take the torn journal page. Decision has been noted. Your mark has been left. An old noose needs to reside here. Now it resides with you. Wait. The doll's gone. The doll's gone.
The doll's gone.
The doll's gone.
The doll's gone.
I didn't steal her ring.
You didn't steal her ring.
No, I let
Lost
her
your
keep her
chance.
ring.
Lost your chance.
Should I have taken the
I
ring?
mean, that's. I guess it's really up to you if you wanted to or not. Because, I mean, what? It changes the outcome of certain stuff.
Yeah. I let her
So
keep
could
her
it be a
ring.
good thing? I mean, it could be a good thing that you let her keep it.
But like, what if I need a ring later now?
Maybe she'll give it to you after for not stealing it the first time.
Leap into the maw. Yeet.
Yourself.
You foolishly leap into the abyss. You're not falling, you're floating in nothingness. You can't see anything. You can't taste, smell, or even feel anything at all. The only thing that you can hear is the sound of your body slowly being masticated, devoured by every regret you've ever had. Endless potential picked apart and swallowed by the fears that consume you. Ugh. Ugh.
That's bad.
Ugh. The halls of purgatory. Your recklessness will be your returning suffering. You cannot put a leash on your impulsiveness. You will leap blindly again and again and again until there's nothing worth saving. Is this the life you've wished for? Is this all you've wanted to be? We both know the answer to these questions, Wanderer. Well, I felt like I had no other option. Like, where am I supposed to go? Right? I
Maybe
answered
there's
the
something
questions. I did the 222. We took note of it. Right? What else was I supposed to do? The altar radiates a dark energy. It might be best to keep your distance.
Don't keep your distance. I like the cat.
See, the cat's trying to throw him. The cat's trying to throw
Where's
himself
Mom?
into the thing.
Have you tried walking away yet with the cat?
What do you mean?
Like, instead of choosing pet it, walk away.
Well, you can't approach a cat and then not pet it.
Well, maybe it's an option.
Do I have what it needs to feed it now?
Right?
You toss the noose into the maw. Oh. It quakes feverishly with hunger.
But
The
it didn't
abyssal
want
appetite
to.
of the gaping maw is insatiated. The abyss wants more. It always wants more. An endless, unfillable void that consumes you in every way imaginable.
But there's only so many nooses you can have.
Right? Living is the hardest thing we'll ever choose to do, Wanderer. Your decision has been noted. Your mark has been left. The Warning Hall. That's a nice name for a hall. You find yourself in an unknown chamber. A sense of calm washes over you, though. You're unsure of whether or not to trust that belief in fleeting comfort. Table soaked in blood. It looks like someone is desperately trying to etch a message of their own bodily fluids before bleeding out completely. A sealed envelope sits atop the wooden table. What would you like to do? Let's open it. You open the envelope and reveal what's inside. It's a handwritten letter addressed to seemingly no one. It reads, "To whomever this may concern, I came here looking for answers. What I found, however, was far more than I had bargained for. I urge you to turn back now and leave this place, for it has already claimed too many desperate souls, seeking answers to questions that ought not to ask. If I can do one good deed with my last moments of my life, then let it be to leave this warning for you next poor unfortunate soul who may find themselves wandering these halls. Turn back now. Sometimes questions are better left unanswered. Signed, a friend." But we're not able to turn back, game. You said it yourself. You're not allowed to turn back the way you came. And I don't know about you, but jumping into a gaping maw doesn't seem like there's a way back from that. You put the note back in the envelope and leave it on the table. 333? There's a hole in the bottom of the case where a critter might have once made its home at a point. 333. Butterfly! Take its wings!
Heck his ways.
Life goes on one way or another, like it or not. You can choose to dwell on the past, or you can focus on the future you still have left. Life will go on, with or without you. A life.
Feed it to the
For a
cat.
blessing. An old journal made from thick animal skin, parchment, scissors. Okay, yeah. Let's fill in the answers. Would you consider myself to be to have an addicting personality? And what does it mean by an addictive personality?
Maybe people just like want to be around you.
Oh, well, I didn't mean to click that. Impulsive at times? Yes. Abnormal? Am I abnormal, tigers?
What? But who isn't abnormal?
True. Have I ever
The
been tricked and
normals.
deceived by somebody you care for? Yes, I have. I have a difficult time letting things go? Oh, absolutely. Do I forgive easily? There's a difference. I forgive, I don't forget. So yes, I forgive easily, but I don't forget. But I consider myself to be a liar. Am I a liar, tigers? Am I lying to you right now?
Just lied with the last question.
What do you mean?
It took you a while to forgive people.
I'm typically quick. I'll say like, okay, you are forgiven. Give them resolve. And then I just remember.
Oh,
Yeah,
tell that to your
no.
mom. Tell that to your mom right
No, because I don't forgive her.
now.
That's a special case. No? When someone lies to you, do you feel like insult to your intelligence? It depends on the circumstance, really. So, not really. It depends on the circumstance, though. Am I a realist? Am I a realist, tigers?
I would imagine so.
I'd say I kind of am. I don't know. Sure. Do I have nightmares often? I don't really dream often. But when I do dream, it does tend to be weird or nightmare-y. But I also don't really dream often, period. So no? Would you say that you enjoy sleep? Yes. Do you ever wish that you didn't have to sleep? I also wish that, though.
No, I want to sleep. I just want to sleep forever. Yes. Just choose yes.
Let's just choose yes.
Yes.
You're just like, yep, just keep going. Give me that piece of paper. Give me the paper. What if I just never answer any of these questions? Crystallized object. Take it. Give me those encrusted flower petals. She loves me. A leafy planter sits in the corner of the room. It looks as though it's been freshly watered. As you look closer, you notice that there's a 4-leaf clover among the leaves of the plant. I want the clover!
Rip the
I got a lucky clover! A crystal ball sits atop a bloodstained table. It gives off an eerie, dark energy. What would you like to do? Peer into it. You gaze deeply into the crystal ball. It begins to radiate a dull light. Something deep within the crystal ball begins to rise to the surface. A wisdom token begins to push its way through the crystal and the glass Oh! Your decision has been noted? The sound of a door unlocking can be heard in the distance. Which door? A large heavy chair sits against the stone wall. It appears to be made of clay and feels cold to the touch. The tapestry on the table is red and silken. Whoops. Though it's unclear whether the tablecloth was red before or stained with blood or merely after. It no longer gives off an energy of any kind. Which door unlocked? With an iron handle, once you venture through a door, wanderer, you'll be unable to return. Make sure you're ready to depart before you continue onward, and tread carefully. Would you like to open the door? Yes! After you push.
Wow.
A lapse in time. A familiar room surrounds you, yet it brings on an unfamiliar feel. Butterfly! Oh. You begin
What
to
if I
sever
just
the
made
soul
you
wing of the
lose
butterfly
the
and stuff in.
glasses right
Wait.
now?
The soul wing of the butterfly? He only has one? Aw.
Wow, you took his only wing.
Sometimes.
Wait,
What?
how did you get 2 wings? Or, yeah, how did you get 2 wings? It said
What do you-
butterfly wings.
Oh, I don't know. Sometimes silence gives off more answers than anything we could ask from words. Can you feel their pain, Wanderer? Can you hear the agony through their silence? What's the clock? 444? Oh, a ticking noise can be heard from within if the hands seem to be unmoving. 444. A open chest rests before you, locked and chained shut. A handprint seems to be carved on each side of the chest along with a set of words. The 2 words are as follows. Dream and nightmare. What would you like to do? Nightmare. The chain on the chest breaks with a loud metal clank. The contents of the chest are for yours to taking. A tiny skull. You've made your decision, Wanderer. Keep this in as you will continue with your journey. Oh, frick. All that remains in the wooden chest is a container on the filth-covered floor. A bizarre alphabet of swords mixed with strange symbols are drawn in blood over the stone-cold wall. Various notes are scattered across the table. Upon closer inspection, they appear to be written in a strange language you've never seen before. Hee hee hee. Take it. Give me the crystalline petals. She loves me not. A wooden grave marker tethered with rope sits before you. Read it. Here rests lusts. Lust would choose to keep the body and get rid of the soul. Love would choose to keep the soul and happily accept whatever the body comes with it. There exists few diseases quite so destructive as lust. Bye, Lust. Rest in peace, Lust. Wait, I have a coin to give her. Stone statue of a veiled woman stands tall before you. Her face is splattered with blood. What would you like to do? Lay a token at her feet. You hear a voice echo in your mind. It is best to judge one by the questions they ask, rather than the answers they give. I've paid tribute and received the blessing of wisdom. Your decision has been noted, your mark has been left. The sound of a door unlocking can be heard in the distance. Okay, Tigers, let's answer more questions.
Hey.
Have I ever felt like your friends or family have been keeping things from you? I feel like that's a given. Yeah? Have I ever felt lost in life? Ah, I'm at the prime age to feel lost in my life, Tigers. Are you confident in my ability to lead people in a successful direction if a situation required it?
Depends on the situation, I would imagine.
Yeah. Kind of depends. Uncertain. Uncertain. Probably not. Am I a follower? Yeah. Have I ever jumped at being a hero? Nah, I'll be the sidekick. Sure, you guys can be the heroes or the villains. Have
You want
ever...
to be a sidekick? I'd rather just be the civilian.
But the civilians always get like hurt in the process.
Exactly.
Hurt someone's feelings on purpose? I try not to. Thanks, game, for the plug. I do our commissions. Do I feel respected in my day-to-day life? It honestly depends. It honestly depends, but sure. Let's say yes. Am I scarred? Doesn't this coincide with us asking if we have trauma? Right?
Hmm?
Isn't this like coinciding with that? Sure. Am I flawed? We all are. Do I believe in perfection? No, screw that. If I knew when your significant other is going to die, would you tell them? At some point, I probably would. Have you ever trusted somebody with your darkest secrets? Yes. You finish inking your final answer into the journal. The crimson ink begins to swirl and form symbols on the page where you've provided your answers. Seems we can tell you telling. It's like, have I ever told anyone my darkest secret? Yeah, I got it tattooed. Yeah. Okay, Tigers. Let's go. Let's stick to going right. Let's just stick to going right, yeah? All right rule?
But left is always right.
But right is always left. And therefore,
Exactly.
right is correct.
No.
Yes.
Left is right.
Yeah, if left is right and right is left, then that means that right is right.
Well, right. If we just go right is left is right. So left is right.
But right is left.
Yeah, and right is left.
Let me guess, 555? The initials TTT are craved on top of the test. Huh. Trouble in Terrace Town? A pile of tattered scrolls sit in a heap piled high from the corner of the room. Let's read. You select a scroll from the pile and begin to read aloud. Uh-oh. You're interrupted by the sound of mantras, guttural bellow coming from the walls that surround you. Perhaps these scrolls aren't meant to be read from. Butterfly! Ugh. It's covered in green liquid. It's important to love and appreciate those who saw you when you were all but invisible to everybody else who gazed upon your being. Did you enjoy the soft gurgle of the supple wings snapping as you plucked them from its body? A steel keg seems to be bleeding a profuse amount of green ooze. Its liquid is quite viscous and smells of blood. You notice that a small glass vial sits within the alcoholic sludge. What would you like to do? Take it. A vial of toxicity. A twinkling light radiance from the crystal. Da, 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 da. Give me that crystalline petal. She loves me. Does she love you? 3 bloody bears sitting in a row. Who do they belong to? Where are they to go? Red's missing an eye, which makes it hard to see. Blue's missing a mouth, which makes it hard to breathe. Black's missing a heart, which makes it hard to care. As 3 bloody arrows reveal the bloody bears. So eye, mouth, heart. What would you like to do? Black bear. You reach out and touch the bloody black bear. You feel something hard protruding from his abdomen. You reach your hand to the bear's stomach. A wisdom token falls into the palm of your hand. Oh! Bye! Scorch marks and coagulated blood over the tablecloth. We're going right, tigers.
Always right.
Always right. A midnight snack? I want a midnight snack.
Grab one right now. It's
What?
called a midday snack.
Ugh, squishy noises. You hear sounds of flesh being ripped from the bone, pulled apart and devoured somewhere in the room. It seems to be coming from a darkened corner of the chamber, just out of firelight. Casual butterfly. You stand perfectly still to not draw attention to yourself as you listen attentively. The chewing abruptly ceases as something seems to be shining in the distance. It catches your eye before fading. Butterfly! Slightly singed and burned with scar marks. Oh. Butterfly wings. Some treat others how they are treated. Some treat others how they wish to be treated. The feel of their wings wiggling in your fingers. It's intoxicating, is it not? Let's answer questions! Do you believe that you do enough to help others in need? No. Am I going to do more? Uncertain. Do I do enough? Probably not. Do you believe you can rely on those around you to take care of you if need be? Yeah, relatively. Do you ever see things that aren't really there? That's called paranoia. Right? That's called paranoia. Have you ever been woken up from a deep sleep from the sensation of falling? I've been woken up from a very light sleep from a sensation of falling. From a deep sleep? No. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. Do you agree with this statement? No. There's very scary people out there.
There's spiders out there.
Yeah. Have I lied to someone within the last week? No? I don't think I've had anything to lie about. So no? Question mark? Do you sometimes make promises that you can't keep? I don't really make promises, so no. Would you consider yourself to have a guilty conscience? I clicked yes on accident. Well, I guess I have a guilty conscience now, tigers.
Wow. What are you guilty about? What'd you do?
I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Do others worrying about you? Yes, because I'm very accident prone. Entirely without question? No. Am I emotional? Not really. It depends. It depends, right?
Yeah, it really
Overall, no. Do I feel the presence of someone in the room with you even when you are alone? Sometimes. Do you believe that everything in life will work out exactly the way it's supposed to? Sure. Do you ever hear random rocking noises around you? If you make a knocking noise right now. It made a knocking noise.
But
I knew it would do it. Ooh, sparkly! Something is reflecting firelight and giving off a slight glimmer from between the broken tiles of the floor. Inspect the glimmer! It's caked in dirt and filth except for a slight metallic edge. Remove the objects to clean off the muck. A wisdom token. Oh! Oh, dusty clock sits on the wall. There appears to be a large crack down the center. 1, 2, 3. That's a different one. You've come across skeletal remains of what appears to be a recent snack for some voracious creature. Torn pieces of flesh cling to the bone, but there's not much left of the corpse to inspect. The bloody remains emit a great deal of warmth, which suggests that this unfortunate victim was eaten while they were still alive, most likely within mere minutes of your arrival in the chamber. Well, that's unfortunate. Crystal petal! Give me the crystalline petal! Give me them crystalline petals. She loves me not. A small ritualistic altar rests on the dirty floor. Coins sit among candles, all surrounding a picture of a mirror. Among the coins, you notice that one in particular that's only half a coin. Take the coin. You pull the half coin out from the pile surrounding the picture. A left half of a coin. A stone statue of a veiled woman stands tall before you. Her eyes fixate on you. Lay a token at her feet. Character and reputation are two different things. Pay attention to your character, for that is what you are. Your reputation is what others think you are. You'd be wise to pay attention to the difference. This door. Yes, this door. The leftovers. A putrid stench emanating from somewhere in the room permeates your nostrils and makes you retch violently. Give me the crystalline object. Crystalline flower petals. Let's go. She loves me. Does she love you? Butterfly. Aw, it doesn't put up much of a struggle. You can't love who you are if you hate how you got here. Do you understand how fortunate you are, Wanderer, to be you instead of them? A wooden grave maker. Yep. Rest in peace, envy. Jealousy and envy are internal consciousness and confession of our own inferiority, and an admittance of other superiority for what it is we feel ourselves are lacking within. A rotting plate of God knows what sits on the filthy blood-splattered floor. Maggots crawl in and out of the rotting refuse, and flies swarm in a heat. What would you do? Just walk away. This is probably for the best. The steel clock sits on the wall, as you can see the reflection of the room in the case of the clock. However, you cannot see your own for some odd reason. The hands of the clock is frozen at 3, 2, 1. Okay, here's our book. Here's our questions. More questions. What questions? Would you consider yourself to be reserved? Am I reserved? What does it mean? What does it mean by reserved?
Somewhat back, not talking back-ish.
Then yes.
What like that?
Then yes. Would you consider yourself to be unstable at times? Yes. Do I feel like I'm constantly having to defend myself to others? Constantly? Constantly, no. So no. Have I ever stood up for someone you probably shouldn't have? Probably have. Has anyone stood up for you during a time when you were wrong? I can't think of any moments of that happening, so no. Would you give your life to save someone else's life, even if that person might not deserve it? Sure. Do you value other people's happiness over your own? I mean, I try to do stuff to make people happy. I try to be helpful. Do you consider yourself selfish at times? I feel like we're all selfish at times. Do I consider myself selfless at times? Yes. We're all selfish at times. We're all selfless at times. It's kind of how we work. Do I feel like others judge you without getting to know you? Yes, and I feel like sometimes, you know, I may judge people without getting to know them. Do I typically make friends with people who are very similar to you? I typically make friends with a lot of people who are different than me, I feel like. Right?
Yeah?
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 Am I a loner?
It depends on where you are.
Yeah. Overall, yes.
Yeah.
Do I consider myself to be shallow at times?
A lot of these questions are dependent.
Yeah. This is kind of dependent, I feel like. Do I try to be shallow? No. Sometimes it happens, though.
I guess overall, no.
It's like sometimes you can be shallow, but like, that's situation based.
I'll say no.
Server. Ah, I accidentally clicked yes. Well,
Yeah.
I guess I judge books by their covers, not tigers. I'm sorry. What does it mean by manic? Like, is it talking about having mental breakdowns? Does that count? Is that what it means? Tigers?
I can't see the question. What's the question?
Now, can you see it?
Manic at times. Yeah. Do you ever feel manic? I don't know. What is manic? State of mind characterized by high energy, excitement, and euphoria over a sustained period of time.
Then no.
Maybe? I don't know. It really depends on what time of day it is. If you're doing something you like, yes. Ish. Yes.
Ish.
Yeah. In VR chat, you are pretty much manic.
Okay, let's see. We got that. I feel like we've already done everything in this room, right? We looked at the plate. We didn't look at the well. Or the bucket. A discrepant wooden bucket sits on the dirty floor. There's a note sitting at the bottom of the bucket. Upon further examination, you notice a crude dagger alongside the note. The note itself reads, "No sacrifice, no entry." Sure, sacrifice. Ugh. As the bucket fills with blood, something floats to the top. A wisdom token presents itself as the bucket... It's wise to sacrifice? Like, huh? That's the wisdom? Sir? Whatever. Right door. You're not alone. No one is alone. Butterfly. Aw, here's a shred of glass embedded in its wing. Let me help you with that. We are not given a good life, nor a bad one. We are, however, most certainly given a life. Imagine if that were you on the other end, as your arms were ripped from your body. Twinkling light radiates from a crystallized object on the floor. Yep, take the object. Crystalline petal, she loves me. Not. There appears to be a small opening in the bottom corner of the stone wall. Look in the hole. As you attempt to look in the hole, you hear the squeaking of a small critter hiding in the darkness. It doesn't appear to want to come out, and your hand is much... What? Oh! What happened? A pool of blood has formed from the floor where you stand. The mirror on the wall seems to have been shattered by some unknown entity. There appears to be an opening. One 12:34. Oh my god, Tigers, the picture.
Hmm?
Oh my god, the picture.
Oh.
Look at him. Have you ever feared what may look... Yes. Do you find that you get bored easily when you're on your own? No.
Naked boardies?
What?
I heard naked boardies.
I think you're on drugs. Do I enjoy my own company? Yeah. Do you typically get along with others? Yeah. Am I stubborn? Yes. Am I argumentative? It
Very
depends on the
dependent.
situation. It's very dependent on the situation. Let's go with yeah. Am I usually right when it comes to disagreements? Also very dependent on the situation. Am I usually right, Tigers?
It really depends.
I was like, it's very dependent.
Yeah.
No, sure. Would you consider yourself to be egotistical at times? Not really, no. I don't think I am. I hope I'm not.
No.
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 Have I ever had an inflated opinion of myself? I don't think I do.
Mm.
Inflated opinion means that I think I'm better than everyone else, right?
Maybe?
Like a narcissist. Have I ever had a low opinion of yourself? There you go. Do you typically have a low opinion of others? No. I feel like I typically don't. It depends on the people, but you know. Does meeting new people make you anxious? Generally, yes. Have you ever fantasized about living in a world by yourself? Not all by myself. Would you consider yourself to be the center of your own universe? Of my own universe? No. What does this mean? No? Question mark?
You're the main character in your own story?
In my own
Maybe?
story,
Probably.
sure. But in everyone else's story, most definitely not. Right?
I guess the question is a little weird. It's still like a egotistical question. I don't think you are.
It's like, I'm confused what it's saying, because if it's asking me if I think most things in my life revolve around me, it depends what you're talking about. Right? Like, I'm a Twitch
Yeah.
streamer. So, like, obviously the Twitch streamers, like, that's, like, a thing where people come to watch me and the other people I'm with, obviously.
Yeah.
Right? But, like,
Yeah.
in life in general, no. People have their own stuff. They have more to worry about than just an Arisu. She held to start a glass. You hear a voice echo in your mind. Understanding requires much more depth than knowledge. Perhaps many know you, but how many understand you? Door's been unlocked. Right door. The music room. A faint sound of music can be heard coming from somewhere in the room. The old journal made from thick animal skin parchment sits atop the wooden table. It is a list of... Yep. Do you ever take the dangers or unnecessary risks even when the reward probably isn't worth the consequences? I don't feel like I take many dangers or unnecessary risks. I'm not a very big risk taker. So no? Do you ever do things for the thrill of the adrenaline? I mean, that's the entirety of roller coasters. Does that count? Right? Do roller coasters count here?
Do things for thrill. I guess, yeah. Yeah.
If you knew that your death would be the fault of you or a significant other, and the only way to avoid your death was to break contact with them forever, would you do it? No? I mean, I guess it would depend. Like, is it saying that the death is caused because, like, we got into an accident that was technically caused by them? I mean, like, sure, no, that's not really worth breaking up with people over. Is it because you're about to become a serial murderer and I'm going to be your first victim? Then probably break it off. Right? But let's just say in general, no. If I knew the death dates of everyone you care about, would you want to know? Sure. Would you consider yourself to be a jealous person? No, not necessarily. Am I insecure at times? I feel like we all are. Would you say that you do well under pressure? It depends. It depends what the pressure is, honestly. But overall, yeah. Have I ever considered leaving Earth forever? That's a very nice way of saying that. Do I ever pray? No. If I could travel back to a previous period in time, would you? No. If I could fast forward your life without having to currently live it, would you? Fast forward to when I'm done with school? But I'd also miss a lot of stuff, so no. Do you believe in true evil? No. It's better to kill than be killed. Do you agree with this statement? No. Is there someone in your life that you fear? Yes. To your knowledge, has anyone been afraid of you? Not a lot of people are afraid of me. I wonder why. Give me the crystalline thing. She loves me. Hi, skeleton. A pile of bones rests carefully stuffed into the broken stone wall. Various insects and critters scurry between the skeleton remains of some poor unfortunate soul. Among the bones, an old, worn, tattered piece of parchment rests, crumpled and rolled. Take the parchment. You reach your hand into the wall, wrap your fingers around the parchment before quickly yanking it out. You've obtained a treasure map. An old organ rests against the stone wall. It's caked in thick cobwebs. Spiders skitter quickly across the keys. Play it. You place your hand on the dusty spider-infested keys and begin to play a few notes. As you continue to play the notes, you hear the distant sound of a violin playing along, with you coming from somewhere in the darkness. Huh. Butterfly!
Rip its wings off.
Rip its wings off. You are worthy of the love that you bestow upon others. I envy you, wanderer. Truly, I do. $3.45. A dusty clay vase sits in the ground before you. When you peer into it, the bottom appears to be shrouded in darkness. What would you like to do? Reach into the vase. You feel something at the bottom. You grip it firmly and retrieve it. A wisdom token. Okay, right door. The library. The distant aroma of old musty books sweeps across the room. Butterfly! Aw! One of its wings are pierced. How can you expect the world to change if you remain the same yourself? How many of these do you think you'll end up collecting, Wanderer? Do you think it'll ever get old, hearing their brittle wings snap from their abdomen? Something doesn't feel right about the books that rest on the shelves before you. It's almost like they're not quite what they seem. Perhaps they're not even books at all? Shelves packed full of dusty old books in the lines of the room. None of these books seems to be written in a language you've seen before. The wood used to build these shelves almost seems as though it rotted before the shelves were actually constructed. The books themselves are not in much better condition. The books on the shelf appear to be covered in ash and soot. They look as though they've barely survived a fire at one point in time. One book in particular seems unburnt. As a matter of fact, it doesn't even look like it belongs to the others on the shelf. Read the book. And images are covered with butterflies? There are various depictions of human-like figures morphing into small critters. Their arms, legs shrink, their torsos turn into smaller abdomens, and some of them even sprout wings stretching by the imagery. The book has a detailed passage about how various things you might encounter in the tasting chambers. It reads as follows. To the trapped souls who seek vindication and absolution, read on. If you believe that your soul has been wrongfully kept within the confines of the testing chamber, you may undergo the trials of wisdom in an attempt to free yourself from these halls and relinquish all captivity, severing the bonds that shackle you to this prison. One of the first steps in this process is finding the old hag that wanders these halls and paying a tribute of her choosing. Once the hag has agreed to assist you, she will bestow upon you a transmogrification spell, which will turn you into a creature of your choosing. Many choose to become butterflies as it's easier to get around, and you can make yourself more or less noticeable by sticking to the shadows, only venturing into the light when you deem it necessary. This also allows you to keep yourself out of range from threats from down below, as most of the entities that wander these halls do so by foot. Once the transmogrification is taken full effect, you must seek out a wanderer and offer your life to them. If the wanderer accepts, you must bestow upon them a blessing of knowledge that may aid them in their journey. If the Watcher deems your blessing worthy of your freedom, then your soul shall forever be freed from the testing chamber. Where your soul travels after this process is complete, it is still unknown, but one thing is for certain. No soul who has ever left these halls has ever returned. Signed. Me?
Wow.
It's me!
You.
Wow!
Oh,
I signed it, Tigers. That's me.
they know who you are.
Yeah.
It's just like the escape room.
Yeah. He closed the book and carefully slid it back into its place on the bookshelf. On the wall, cobwebs litter the case to make it hard to read the position of the hands. 1111. Cobwebs envelop the old tomes, and many of their pages no longer remain intact. There appears to be one book on the shelf that is in noteworthy condition that might just be legible. Read it. Looks interesting to you. It appears to be a handwritten page of sorts, perhaps a journal or diary. Perhaps it's just an open letter to anyone who may find it. It reads as follows. I don't know who's going to read this. Hell, I've barely touched anything in this place since I've got here. A few things I've come to realize since I've been trapped in these halls. For starters, it appears that there are foul magics at play here. I found grisly ritualistic altars, human sacrifices, half-eaten corpses, mass graves of nameless bones, and worse. If you can even imagine worse, that is. I've also met a few other wanderers in my journey through these halls, and shared a few words that have had some knowledge bestowed upon me. I helped a woman escape from a grotesque abomination, only to find that she was a witch and had a hankering for human flesh. No one and nothing here is to be trusted under any circumstances, and to be quite honest, the longer I spend within the testing chamber, the more I can understand why. From what I understand, the only way out of this place is to find a sacred mirror of sorts. Without the mirror, the souls are forever lost in purgatory, doomed to endlessly wander these halls for eternity. Many come seeking answers, Seeking answers, few make it out alive. I've yet to see anyone survive her for longer than a day or two, and I'm beginning to think that I'll be no exception. Through constant exploration and a ruthless amount of digging, my studies have led me to the conclusion that this place was originally built to keep the souls of the damned here from escaping their eternal prison. But whoever built this place wanted something good to come from their presence. Other wanderers I've spoken to believe that the souls who are trapped here are meant to offer wisdom and guidance based on the mistakes of their past lives. A veiled woman used to wander these halls until she was turned into stone, but she served as a caretaker and guiding light in the darkness for quite some time before she crossed paths with one of the worst entities that roam these halls. Some claim that not everything here is evil. I'm not so sure about that. I was told that if I came here, I would gain the answers I sought. I didn't even know if there's a possibility at this point. My skin is beginning to rot off my bones, and I don't know how much longer I can last on in this journey through what I can only describe as a living hell. To be quite honest with you, I don't even know if I'm still alive anymore. And if I am, I don't know how much longer that's meant to last. Signed, a wanderer. He closed the book and carefully set it back into its place on the bookshelf. Wood engraved with type. Read it. Here rests gluttony. Some feel as though gluttony is a trait of the self-serving who disregard what actions may spell doom for others. Gluttony is also an escape from a reality that is consuming one from within. Rest in peace, gluttony. Taking it. Take it.
Get off.
She loves me not.
Pluck the flowers, rip the wings off the butterflies. What is wrong with this game?
A set of words. The two words are as follows. Offensive and defensive. Let's go on the defense. I got an iron shield. Huh. You will live for your decision whether you like it or not. The 8 token of the statue feet. Others will always treat you in any way which you decide to let them. If you wish to be treated differently, then show them what behaviors you will and will not accept. Decision has been noted. Your mark has been left. Let's answer questions again. Would you consider myself to be a gambler? Other than Genshin? Other than Genshin, not really. Am I a confident individual? I clicked yes, the answer was no. Am I more or less independent? Yeah. Am I attractive? Questionable?
I think so.
You're biased. You have a bias. Replace all my handheld electronic devices that you currently use on your hand. Would you act as... Sure. Do I lie to people on a day-to-day basis? No. Have you ever been afraid of suffocating? Kind of. I mean, like, it's kind of... Yeah. Harming your animals? Yes. Defend myself if need be? Not really. But I'm out fight against insurmountable odds in order to protect a stranger's life from others who sought to wrongfully do harm for them. It would depend, honestly. Am I materialistic?
No.
I was gonna say, I don't think I really am. I mean, I have materials.
Whatever loves.
Do your friends often share similar set of morals and values to your own? Somewhat similar, yeah. Same interests, dreams, and ambitions in life? No. If you can't beat them, join them.
You can't do that? Slap him.
Do you believe in the idea of soulmates? Not really. I think people just kind of do whatever they want. Do whatever you want and live your life however you please. Screw soulmate stuff, right?
You actually find your soulmate. So you're like, soulmate!
Soulmate! Paradise of the... Ooh! Kitty! The bright sunlight burns your eyes and causes a brief but blinding headache. Out of the darkness into the light. Enjoy the warmth while it lasts. Kitty! 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 It looks like you! It looks like you, Tigers! Look!
Look at it. How does that look like me?
It's a foxy, too! Look! It looks like a tiger cat.
Oh.
Look at his pattern.
Hmm.
He looks like you! The tree has seen better days and seems to be in desperate need of water.
There's water right there. Get those wings.
My wings. If we succumb to the harsh winter, we miss out on the beautiful sun that will warm us once again. I wonder what they're thinking right before they are brutally dissected. Do you think they're expecting it, Wanderer? Do you think that they know that their lives are about to be snuffed out for the sake of your own personal thirst for knowledge and wisdom? Actually, yes. We read that book. They're supposed to sacrifice themselves. The twinkling light radiates from a crystallized object on the floor. Hot sand covers the majority of the object, and the rays from the sun make it difficult to see its glimmer. Take it. Give me those crystalline flower petals. She loves me. Beautiful green leaves grow brightly and healthily from this desert plant. The desert cactus is covered with thick thorns. It's probably wise not to touch it. The plant offers what appears to be a bright red, ripe, and sweet fruit to those hungry enough to take a bite. Sure, take a bite. You bite eagerly into the fruit. The sweetness of the juices flood your mouth and generate a delectable taste unlike anything you've eaten before. A winged totem stands far before you. An herb made of crystal absorbs sunlight and produces an incredible amount of heat, glistening and gleaming brightly. Peer into the orb. Something is glimmers in the sunlight. I got a wisdom token. The water seems to run cold and fresh from the mountainside. This tree has managed to flourish in spite of its environment. Water cleansed cleanly beside the tree, clearly offering much needed sustenance and hydration. A note has been to the bulletin board. It reads as follows. You don't have to stay, but you don't have to go. You could survive here forever. You at least deserve to know. The fruit is safe to eat, the water is as fresh as can be, and if you choose to stick around, you'd be in good company. An old well sits on open and welcoming in the hot desert sun. It appears to be functioning and equipped with all the necessities to gather water. As you peer down into the well, you see something reflecting, release the bucket from the well. A golden lute. Interesting. Let's answer questions. Okay, Tigers. Do I ever wish life could be free of drama? Yes.
Yes.
If you could leave your current life to live in paradise, could you do it? What does it mean by paradise?
The perfect world, I guess.
Am I leaving everyone behind for it, though?
I would imagine so.
Where crime was commonplace and it was up to you constantly to have to defend yourself with Neebly. I don't think I ever could. If you discovered that when you were conceived, you were one of 4 identical embryos who look, talk, would you ever want to meet your other siblings? Sure, why not? Am I the most honest person you know? Probably not. People are strange when you're a stranger. Do you agree? Yeah. Do you believe that one should always stand... What?
What?
What? You sound like you're gonna say something.
It was a laugh.
Oh.
Hey.
Do
Hey.
you believe that one should always stand for what they believe in, regardless of the consequences? Depends on the consequences. Have you ever caused someone to have a near-death experience? No. Would you play Russian roulette for $10 million? If you win, you walk away with money, but if you refuse to play, your net worth immediately becomes 0 and you lose everything you've ever worked for. Oh.
Yes.
Screw that. Are you oftentimes afraid of change? Yes. Do you suffer from pain on a daily basis? What? No? Have you ever wished that you couldn't feel pain at all? No. If you could grow wings and fly far, far away, would you? Yeah, up to New Jersey.
Yeah, fly everywhere.
Do I ever feel invisible to the world? Sure. If the things you owned and purchased had no bearing on what people thought of you, would you choose to spend your money differently? No. You finish drinking your final answer into the journal. Kitty! Move!
Idiot.
Move! Let's go. Return to madness.
Atlas, Madness Return. You never finished that game, did you?
No.
No.
Let's go ahead and do that. Do I have a chaotic personality? Somewhat?
Sometimes.
Sometimes? A
Sometimes.
passionate person?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. A gentle soul.
Yes.
To be kind. I try to be.
Yes.
I try to be. In some cases, you kind of have to, like, you know, handle things in a similar way. Have you ever hated someone else? Like, maybe 1 or 2 people. Forget but never forget. I just said that earlier. Everything happens for a reason. Sure. Do you believe that war is sometimes necessarily? No. If your mother was in terrible pain, bedridden, and only weeks away from inevitable death?
I'll be right back.
You a severe bout of rage? No. Might get judge of character. To a degree, it depends. Do I feel uneasy for no particular reason? That's called paranoia. Do I have any long-term girls? And if so, do I plan to place in... I don't really have any long-term girls. Haha. 12:22. Have acquired butterfly wings. It doesn't get easier, my dear. Though we do get stronger. Monsters roam these halls, Wanderer. Has the thought crossed your mind that you might just be one of them? A decrepit leather chair sits in front of a cracked wooden table. In the other seat of the chair rests a pool of blood that seems fresh and tacky, as if someone injured sat there most recently. A clay pot with an assortment of flowers rests on the table. After inspecting the coagulated soil, it seems as though the flowers are being watered with blood. Worms wriggle and writhe with it beneath the dirt, and bloody flower stems seem to be feeding off chunks of flesh and bones from the soil itself. Give me the crystal. Give me. She loves me not. A pot of flowers sits on the wooden table. The flower pot seems tilted slightly, as if it's sitting on top of something, providing a lack of balance. Inspect underneath. A small coin is wedged underneath the pot, making it uneven. Give her a coin. Her fingers are caked in wet soil, and piles of worms rest at her feet. Lay a token. You hear a voice echo in your mind. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. The grass is greener wherever you decide to water it. You have paid and received a blessing of wisdom. Right door. A silent prayer. For the first time since wandering these halls and chambers, you get a sense of peace from being in this room. She loves me. Locked and chained shut. On each side of the chest with a set of words. Blessing and curse. Curse. A shadowy skull. I've got 2 skulls now. Carry the burden of your choices upon thine shoulders, Wanderer. Okay, let's answer more questions, y'all. Okay, answers. Do you think about death often? Not really. Do you believe you're going to live a long, eventful life? No idea. Do you ever talk to yourself? Yeah, I am now. Have you ever witnessed an event and you just couldn't explain it? Yes. Have you ever had the fear or suspicion that someone is living inside your house without your knowledge? Not really. Do you ever sleep with your feet hanging off the bed? No. Have you ever considered that you might be crazy and just don't know it? Yeah. Does the thought of an afterlife bother you and make you uneasy? No. Does the thought that there might not be anything after life bother you? Nope. Am I willing to give up sex or masturbation for you if it meant gaining a deeper sense of peace in the end? Sure. Would you consider yourself to be easily manipulated at times? Probably. Am I a manipulative person at times? I try not to be. Have you ever felt like you were being followed even when no one was there? Yes. Humans are the most dangerous thing on the planet. Do you agree with this statement? Yes, I do. Am I a dangerous person? I'd hope I am. Kind of. Not really. Butterfly! Butterfly! Just because you don't know where you're headed does not mean you're lost. Has the sound of madness set in yet, wanderer? A large golden symbol sits atop a stone monument in the corner of the room. It radiates a pure positive energy that draws you in and brings you comfort. If you could pray for anything at all, what would you beg of your gods, wanderer? Resolve. Sense of peace washes over you and you feel like everything is going to be alright. Glowstick clock on the wall. 6. Pray with me at the bottom of the place. 10. The old barrel sits against the wall. As you listen closely, a knocking seems to become from within the barrel. What would you like to do? Knock on the barrel. You extend your hand towards the barrel and begin to knock back. As you pull your hand back, you feel something in your palm. A wisdom token! Nothing in these corners. Good. Let's go to the right. Let's open this door. The halls of the harvester. Whatever positive feelings of warmth or comfort you initially felt in the previous room, you feel the polar opposite here. Let's see. Here rests wrath. One's wrath may be a burden upon one's very own soul, but not upon the soul in which wrath is sought to be placed. For if we were to set out for our plot of vengeance and retribution, we must first dig 2 graves before we begin our journey forward. Rest in peace, wrath. Would you consider yourself to be a highly accomplished individual? Not really. Would you say that you sometimes lack motivation? Yes. Do I sometimes lack discipline? Yes. Have you ever faked my confidence and be more confident than you actually are? That's the entire definition of me dancing. Have I ever had the regret of keeping someone in your life for too long? Yes. Do I have the tendency to hide my true emotions from people? Yes. Am I afraid of what others might think if they knew all your deepest, darkest secrets? Yes. Have you ever lived a constant state of dread, just wondering when the next horrible event was going to take place in your life? Yes. Substance or activity to mask your pain or avoid your reality? To a degree? Have you never known exactly what to take constant work consolation to pursue? Exactly, no. Am I comfortable with living a life of mediocrity? Yeah. Do you believe that for one reason or another, for better or worse, most people don't deserve you or what you bring to their life? No. Do you and your significant other... If you and your significant other were actively witnessing a heinous and tragic... Would you risk your life if your significant other intervened, knowing that at any point in time these sins could turn on both of you? No, because that's not just me in that situation. That's 2 people. No. For current life in order to pursue your greatest goals and dreams and highest success, nah. I'll stay where I am now. An extremely keen blade rests on a tray atop the table. Alongside the blade rests a slab of meat with a bite taken out of it. Upon further inspection, it seems to be a kidney. Ice cold, bloodied water fills the tub in the corner. The blood surrounding the tub feels warm, wet, and fresh. What would you like to do? You reach your hand into the water and sift through the thick, mucousy water. You feel something small and solid at the bottom of it. You bring it to the surface and wisdom token. I thought so. Where's the butterfly? I saw the butterfly. Here you are. Feathers near me. Bear a small section of the abdomen. We may be beaten. We may be bruised, bashed. We may even be bloodied. But one thing we refuse to be is broken. Do you regret any of the decisions you've made since walking here? Do you regret ever stepping foot within these halls, Wanderer? I'd venture to say that you're walking the path you're meant to walk. Let's see. Help is crudely written in blood. 654. A twinkling light radiates from a crystallized object on the floor. Its bloody meats. Yep. Flower petal. Give me the petal. She loves me not. Just a bloody human heart in your hands. Give me some wisdom, old statue. While others are thinking, you should be doing. Your decision has been noted. Your mark has been left. The sound of the door unlocking can be heard in the distance. Let's go through this door. The Pit of Fools. Something calls to you and pulls at your very soul. It almost feels that something in this room is begging you for help. Twinkling light. Crystallized object, take it. She left me. Now give me the butterfly. Covered in a white dusty powder. You have acquired butterfly wings. Someone else is living the life you've always dreamt of. It's not because they're better than you. It's simply because they decided to take the chance you were too afraid to take. What if I told you that you were doing it wrong, Wanderer? What if I told you that there was a better way? Oh, hi. A pit of skulls and assorted bones rested beneath the floor. You hear faint whispers coming from the pit, calling out to you. Dig through the bones. You find two skulls that seem to be emanating a large energy, almost as if they're calling out to you. As you hold the skulls in your hand, their whispering you once heard has grown silent. A wooden table sits in the middle of the entryway to the chamber. It's coated in a thick layer of dust, and within the dust there sits an imprint of an object that has seemingly been removed. Let's answer some more questions. We all have our demons. Do you agree with her? Yeah. Have you ever felt dead inside? Sure. Have you ever thought about murdering someone? Not seriously. Have you ever felt suicidal? Sure. Have you been curious? No. If you had 3 wishes, would you ever give one away? Sure. Am I controlling? In some degrees, yes. Overall, no. My life has great importance and value. Sure, everybody's does. Your fate is predetermined? No. That our thoughts can manifest into reality depends on the thoughts. Generally, no. Would you ever consider myself to be optimistic? I'm quite pessimistic. I'm trying to rush this along a bit. Has anyone wondered if you already didn't just didn't know it? Not really. Have you ever felt physically restrained or held down by an unseen force? Not really. Do I have a soul? Nah. Inking. I'm trying to hurry this up a bit, because I have to go soon here. But I also don't know how much of this is left. In the corner, this seems the indication for something wants that. Place something atop the corner. You place the skull atop the monument. It fits perfectly, as if it's resting where it belongs. Place the skull atop the... a place for everything, and everything in its place. The room goes suddenly colder. Something about the energy here shifted. A bloody birthday cake sits on the dirty floor. The candles have already been lit and snuffed out. Dig into it. Found something round and hard. A wisdom token. in half. Hands of the clock have been snapped in half. That's unfortunate. Oh! Faint whisper from the table. You can't make out the words no matter how closely you listen. When you try to move the skull, it won't budge. All the candles have been lit and burnt halfway except for one which remains pristine. Take the unlit candle. Powdery sustenance coats my fingers. A bone dust candle. Let's move on, y'all. A way out. You hear shuffling of feet in the darkest parts of the room, just out of firelight. You get the sense that something is very bad has transpired here. One.
Autumn.
Papa. Fill the blank answer.
111.
Again. Do I love myself? That's a hard question, yo. That's a hard question. Have I ever hated myself? Sure. Have you ever wished I was never born? That's called depression, my friend. That's called depression. Have you ever watched someone die? Not in person, no. Not me. And then returned it without them knowing? No? Do you always lock the door to your home? Yes. Do you sleep with the window open? No. Would you add a decade onto your life if meant taking a decade off the lifespan of a random individually? No. Screw that. Someone watching you through your window. That's why my blinds are always closed. Have you wished that someone you've hated would die? Do you fear the possibility of losing your memory? Kind of. Am I a good person? Am I a good person, tigers?
I hope so.
I hope so too. Am I a bad person? I'd hope not. Do you feel like maybe you're not even a person at all? I'm a potato. I don't think that's what the game meant, though. Butterfly! Yes. Butterfly wings. You may not be able to change your beginning. But if you act now, there's still time to change your ending. What are you going to do with the wings you've collected? Gonna open them up at a discount butterfly shop, wonder? Everything is half off? Funny. Clean chain shut. Handprints on each side. The two words are rags and riches. Rags. Metal for use for the taking. A commoner's garb. Perhaps you should have chosen more wisely, Wanderer. Or perhaps you know exactly what you're doing. A blood-splattered statue of an angel sits with her eyes fixated on a blade, sitting in blood, resting atop a stone table. It seems almost as though the angel's eyes shift and look at you for a brief moment. But perhaps your own eyes are playing cruel tricks. Blood-stained angel stares around, pressing her hands together to your head low, deep in prayer. As near her, you hear a faint whispering coming from the statue. It briefly looks as though the statue lips are moving as if the angel is measuring yourself, but the longer you stare, the more silent and still the statue becomes. No!
Oh.
I didn't mean to click again. A dull iron blade sits in blood resting atop a stone table. There's a certain darkness that emanates from the blade and gives off a very negative energy. You get the sense that this blade was not used for the best of intentions. Parchment and a quill rest on the table before you. There appears to be a note. Yes. Let's read. If you're reading this, then it's already too late for me. I should have heeded the warning of the note I found earlier. I can't take it anymore. I shouldn't be here. No one should be here. This place does things to you. It distorts your mind. It drives you to do things a good soul would never do. The things I've done. Oh God, please. Forgive me for the awful things I've done here. I should have listened. And now, there's only one left thing to do. There's only one thing left to do. And there's only one way out of this hell. And it knows it too. The watchful one. The monsters in the wall. It knows just when we're about to break. And it provides an exit for us. It provides our way out. Just when we can't take any more. I will take my exit now. I'll find solace in knowing that my selfishness, my greed, will not go unpunished. I will atone for all I've done, all those I've hurt, and search for all answers of self. I will take my leave, and pray that my soul finds its way out of these wretched chambers once and for all. Signed, just another wanderer. Well, that sucks. Somebody done diddly did a die.
Mm-hmm.
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 Give me that crystal. Inside the severed toe. Give it to me. She loves me not. Does she love you not, Tigers?
Oh, does she?
Does she?
Does she?
If you believe you can do something, then chances are you can. If you believe you can't, well, then you're probably right about that too. uh... Go through the door. Innocence lost. As you open your eyes and gaze around the room, visions of your childhood cloud your mind. Some memories bring you nostalgic bliss, whereas others bring you brief heartache, and grief before you quickly flush the thoughts from your memory and continue onward. Tattered and old, yet neatly folded blankets rest on the table. They're warm to the touch in the otherwise cold room. Am I afraid of being forgotten? Sure. Have I ever heard voices in my head? Sure. Do you have a habit of starting projects and not finishing them? Yes. Do I get sick easily? No. Do I ever feel like things end up poorly for you, even when they've been going well right up to the end? Yes. Have I felt like life has been disappointing? It depends. It depends. Relatively, no. Am I a disappointment? Let's just say I'm in a family full of doctors, so yes. Do you ever feel tired, drained, like you could just sleep forever? Yeah. Do you have stuff? Yeah, that's called insomnia. Do you ever wish you could be more productive? Yeah. Do you ever suffer from intrusive thoughts that you just can't seem to flush out of your mind? Sure. I feel like we all kind of do. Do we not? Sometimes people know if you just aren't good for you? No? Have you felt like you're living an unhealthy lifestyle? In general, yeah. Wish things could be different? Ever, yeah. Ba, 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 ba. Ooh! Blood-soaked gifts litter the table before you. Each box looks pristinely wrapped, yet caked with blood and dirt. A small butterfly flutters near you. Its wings begin to sparkle. Pluck it. Give me the sparkly wings. If you move forward now, you'll be proud of yourself tomorrow. If you don't, you feel like you'll do today, except worse, because you'll be one more day behind. Make yourself proud. You know, believe it or not, butterfly wings are mighty versatile, Wanderer. You can do many things with them. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. Small joystick artwork rests on the dirty floor. A coin sit among the candles surrounded by a picture of a warrior. You want that one? Yes, yes, take it. I have a full coin now. Give me my... 6 on a pile of pulled teeth. Huh. Give me my crystalline petal. She loves me. Inside the water basin is what appears to be a drowned fetus. Huh. Umbilical cord is attached and hanging over the side of the basin. A bucket of beaded flesh and blood overflows from the moldy, rotted bucket. Inside the bucket appears to be afterbirth and the carved insides of what once must have been a womb. Old dusty clock. Small handprint. Hands of the clock have stopped frozen on 222. So now the times are repeating. Bleeding eyes. Blood-soaked thighs. Innocent cries. Dolly dies. Morbid sin. Look within. Next of kin. Begin again. Pick up the blue doll. You reach out and pick up the bloody blue doll. There's a blood-soaked coin under its dress. Let's go to the right door. Blood money. The metallic smell of iron stings your nostrils. Oh, noise? Noise? Yuki, heal blast, she's reading with the party 6. Hey, yo, Yuki! Is that a Yuki? Is that a Yuki? Oh my god, Tigus, it's a Yuki! Is that a wild woofer in the chat? Is that a wild woofer in the chat?
Woof, woof, woof.
It's a woof woof woof. Raid, 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 raid. Thanks for the raid, Yuki! Oh my god! Robot BT. You see, I'm not following you on Twitch because I usually see you on English YouTube. You're usually on YouTube. I wasn't following you on Twitch. Here. There we go. I don't have stream elements. I switched back to Twitch. More of my community is here. Understandable. How have you guys been doing? What have you guys been up to? How was your stream? Was it fun? Was your stream all fun? The demonic stone figure resides in front of you. It appears to have a space for something at the base of the statue. Place something on the statue. You don't have anything to place here. Well, that's unfortunate. Cult of the Lamb. It was lots of fun. People keep telling me to get Cult of the Lamb, and I'm always very tempted. The parchment material used in the styrofoams. Perhaps the missing page could be restructured if one were to find enough pieces. Do I need one more? Please tell me I only need one more. I feel like I've done every single one of these journals. Do you have dreams I could swear were real? Yes. In the past, when you felt positive or happy, have you experienced a immediate sense of negativity? Sure, that's called depression. If you're camping out and you heard a woman scream, would you investigate? Sure. If you are alone in your home at night, you suddenly hear the sound of children laughing and there's no one you consider staying in your home for the night? Yeah. If you're camping in the woods and land sounds something unzipping your tent, you can soon figure out what it is you're considering in the woods? No. If you're a neighbor putting a dead body in the trunk of the car, would you attempt to stop them? If it was already dead, no. I'd call the cops. Right? If it's already dead...
Yeah, it's already dead.
If it's already dead, I'm not getting myself directly involved. If you're fast asleep in your bed, only to be awakened by an unseen force, would you go back to sleep when it's over? Probably not. And to go to store and a strange man appeared and suddenly started sprinting at you, would you turn and run? Yes. If you're alone sitting in the bathtub and suddenly the lights turn off in the bathroom, the door begins to unlock, slowly swing open and reveal no one standing there, would you get dressed and leave your house immediately? Yes, I would. Cannibalism or survive, do you think you could do it? Probably not. If you're stranded in a boat in the middle, I'm trying to speed up a bit, can you tell? I have to like leave soon here. Do you think you could survive long enough to be rescued? Sure. Have you ever thought about what it'd be like to burn to death? Yes, I feel like it'd be very painful. Am I a morbid person? Kind of. Remains on the page. It's bolded and outlined in red. Ooh. Are you satisfied? Yes. That's really all it comes down to, isn't it, Wanderer? Are you satisfied? Satisfaction is the death of desire, if you know. Crimson ink begins to swirl the symbols on the page. Whatever. Give me the page I need. The final page seems begins to be torn. Process will be of use. Quite a torn page. Your decision has been noted. Your mark has been left. Essentially, this is a game that's like a personality test of sorts. Cancel clock 333. 333. It's repeating the times, tigers.
Why did you that?
I don't know. Here rests greed. Greed is a hungry mouth with an insatiable appetite for more. In the absence of satisfaction for what one has, they will crave and they will continue to eat until they've dug their own graves using their teeth. Rest in peace. Greed. Where's the butterfly? Get here! Get here! Butterfly is floated near you. Pentagram symbol rests upon its back. Pull apart the wings of the butterfly. Butterfly wings. Life isn't about who you used to be. We all are someone else once. If you want it badly enough, we can be someone else different tomorrow. Say Wanderer. Did you know that the entire center of a butterfly's nervous system is the subesophageal gangling? There's the thorax, not the head? Now, I don't know what the hell that means, but if you say it with enough confidence, people think you're really smart. He's not wrong. Remember that lesson, Wanderer. Take the object. Give me my crystal. She lets me not. Give me this. Open chest, locked and chained shut. Handwritten, please be guarded. With words. What are the words? Future and present. Present. Acquired a magic mirror. Do you like what you see, Wanderer? Or perhaps you're afraid of what you might see when you gaze a bit deeper? Pretty sure we need the mirror to leave. A massive gold chalice filled to the brim with golden coins rests on the floor. Upon further inspection, there appears to be an indentation at the bottom of the chalice as if it's been moved. What would you like to do? Take the chalice. You take the chalice in your arms. It feels quite light considering how large and full it is. A bloody coin rests between her fingers. Lay a token at her feet. Courage is not being fearless, for there is no courage with the absence of fear. Courage is being afraid yet acting anyway. Are you a courageous soul? No. Probably not. I don't know, I'm pretty wimpy. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm pretty wimpy. Place something. You place the large golden chalice at the base of the statue. The golden coins with the chalice quickly melts and turns to blood, overflowing and spilling onto the floor. Blood forms a symbol on the ground before you. Chalice runneth over the blood money. A single coin is left in the chalice and meant to damage its wisdom token. Holding a chalice of blood in its hands. A mysterious altar stands before you. Upon the altar is a tattered diary. The first page seems to be ripped out. Parchment used in the diary seems familiar. Perhaps the missing pages could be restrictive whenever to find enough pieces. Do I not have enough pieces? What? Ah, fine, I'll move on. Interrogation room. What is this? You think you hear what sounds like someone flipping through pages in a heavy tome, that you can't figure it comes when no one else is in the room with you. Here rests pride. Pride will always come before the fall, and it will always create long distance between two close people. Pride seeks to break us from inside, but I assure you, no one is ever choked from swallowing their pride. Envy, gluttony, greed, sloth, lust, wrath, and pride. All these things grow within, all things we cannot and mustn't avoid entirely. They have their place and they catch their uses. Every place in life is about balance. Exceeding the bounds of moderation builds a tower upon an unstable foundation, and we shall watch our kingdoms crumble if we stack them too high and heavy with any one of these. A small butterfly floats near you. A tiny noose sits around its neck. The butterfly pull its wings. It is just as important to be grateful for all the things we have as it is to be grateful for all the things we don't have. You're getting closer, Wanderer. Can you feel it? I can feel you.
That's great.
One half of a noose rests on this table. The loop has been severed from the rope. One half of a noose rests on this table. The rope has been severed from the loop. 444? 444. A wooden chest, locked, chained, and shut. Two words are as follows. Knowledge and power. Knowledge. A book of knowledge. It's interesting that you make the choice like that, Wanderer, especially considering how they're essentially the same thing. Now it's stone plaque sits pressed against the wall. The chiseling has been lost to the test of time, and you can't quite make out when it once read. Give me my crystalline flower petal. Give me my flower petal. She loves me. Oh? Now come, Wanderer. Come hither at once. For it is finally time to meet the demon that you've been chasing all this way. A blood-soaked journal sits atop the wooden table. It is a long list of questions with blank spaces for answers to be written. Fill the answers. Do you feel darkness inside of you? What does it mean? Sure? You're distant for more than where your life has taken you. No? Have I ever been so afraid of the future that you just stopped trying to progress? To a degree? That I might have a fear of failure? Kind of. That you might have a fear of success? Kind of. Do I value honesty above all else? Above all else? No. Do I have a set of morals that others might consider questionable? Kind of. Do I follow my own moral code? Yeah. Do you believe that standing for what you believe sometimes means standing alone? Yeah. Are you afraid of where your life might take you in the next several years? Yes. Am I suffering inside right now? Aren't we all suffering a little bit? Do you ever wish your words would fall into ears that weren't so deaf? Yes. Do I ever feel like nobody listens to you? Sometimes, yes. Do you ever feel like you can understand others quite well, but others cannot understand you? Yes and no, because I don't really understand others. Am I afraid of the unknown? Yeah. Am I afraid of running out of time as your life comes to an end before you've managed to accomplish all the things you want to accomplish? Not really. Am I afraid of surviving while your loved ones perish? Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have a fear of abandonment?
Yes.
Do I carry around a heartache from your past? Yes. Do you harbor resentment from those who have done you wrong? To a degree, depends on the people. Do you have regrets in life? Sure. Could I do it again? Would I do anything differently? Probably not. Am I proud of who you've become? Somewhat, sure. Depends on which aspects of me you are talking about. Do you feel like your choices and circumstances in life have made you who you are? Yes. Do you wish you'd been treated more fairly than others in the past? Kinda. Do you strive to treat others better than you might have been treated? Yes. Do you ever wish that you could help more people? Yep. Do you sometimes wish you could more easily help yourself? Sure. Do you look forward to where my life take you? Sure. Do you ever feel like you aren't living up to your full potential? Somewhat. If you knew that following your dreams would end in certain success, would you do whatever it takes to pursue them and achieve them? Sure. If you could travel into the past or future but never return to the present, would you do it? Nah. Have you made peace with your past? Not really. Have you made peace with your current circumstances? Somewhat. Are you afraid of what conflict may arise in the future? Yeah. If you could work twice as much as you do now and reap twice the amount of benefits from doing so, would you do it? I already work a lot right now, man. But sure. Do you ever wish that you could be forgiven for the wrong you've done? Not really. Do you really sometimes blame yourself even when you think maybe it's your fault? Yeah. Other people blame you more than they should? Sometimes. Depends on the situation, but yeah. Would you enjoy an entire month of solitude with no communication with the outside world? Probably not. Do you wish your life turned out differently thus far? Nah. Are you proud of what you've managed to accomplish? Yes. Do you feel like you could have accomplished more than what you should have already done far? Nah. Have you ever felt like you're wasting your potential in life? Somewhat. Do you ever get the sense that you have a hidden talent or undiscovered? Nah. Felt like there was something special and unique about you that you just can't place your finger on? Not really. Do you have particular times just than others? Yes. Do you ever get the sense that your mind works differently from others? Not really. I mean, like, there's a lot of people like me. If I wanted to make other people happier than the world has made you, sure. If today everything is going to be okay, would you believe me? Sure. On the final page, there's a small token between the pages. Another wisdom token. There seems to be one final question hidden away. If there's a set of switches on the wall, each of them with a color and a number designed to them, with no other indicator as to what the switchers did, which one would you flip? Black. Your decision has been noted. Your mark has been left. The sound of a door unlocking in the distance has been heard. Let's go right. We're going all right. These are not nearly as lighthearted as the quizzes I used to take in 17 magazine. BuzzFeed who? Upon a rotting house. Yeah, Yuki, welcome to the darker BuzzFeed, right? The smell of mold fills the chambers you now reside in, unlike any that you've experienced before. There's an unmistakably overabundant dampness and an exuberant amount of humidity that hangs heavy in this room. To add to the already overwhelming amount of discomfort that this chamber brings, the sound of water constantly dripping from the ceiling and walls enough to drive someone mad if given enough time. Broken glass and chunks of flesh and heaps of blood rest on the old splintered oak table. A cobwebs cling to the stools resting around the table, and the legs of the chair seem to be chewed apart by some critter, adding to the degradation. An as-much map of lands you've never seen or heard of rests on the wall. Nothing about the lands or travel roads seem familiar to you whatsoever. An old painting of dark figurines standing in front of a castle sits on the wall. Their figures in the painting are faceless, yet you can feel them watching you as you gaze upon them. Oh, dusty clock, 555? 555. A tattered piece of parchment hangs on the wall containing ripped recipes for various meals. Below the parchment rests a butcher's block coated in blood. Old crusty, stale, and hardened bread sits next to the countertop. Small jars of viscous liquid rest next to the bread. The bees. The sink that sits against the wall is rusted and filthy. A sour stench rises from the drain and mixes with the smell of hanging garlic and herbs from a wall above. An old iron stove sits in the corner. It's fairly filthy, but well kept in terms of remaining intact and unbroken. Above the old stove contains a wall full of iron pots, pans, and various cooking utensils. Interestingly enough, the cooking utensils appear to be unused and in good condition, if not a bit dusty. Let me check something real quick. Ugh.
Oh.
I'm supposed to be somewhere right now, technically. Various
Oh.
cobweb caked with rotten, moldy ingredients rest on the counter. The crate seems to contain an old mix of carrots and peppers. In this room, I may have to end it off in this room and come back to this because I don't have time. The crate contains salt-preserved fish heads that have not been kept properly. Various cobweb cakes of rotten, moldy ingredients rest in the kitchen. The crate seems to contain cabbage. Spiders made their home between the leaves. This crate seems to contain mixed grains. Small butterfly flutters near you. It seems to be rotting and festered. You have acquired butterfly wings. You don't drown by falling into deep waters. You drown by staying there and refusing to swim. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, wanderer. Let's talk to her. Lay the token at her feet. You hear a voice echo in your mind. When you're feeling pain, take the time to ponder what's hurting, why it's hurting, and what you've done to deserve it, and how you got into the position you're in. Life is trying to teach you a very valuable lesson. You'll be forced to relearn this lesson over and over again if you don't take the time to learn it properly the first time. Okay, let's talk to the king. An unworldly king sits alone at a decrepit wooden table, lost in deep thought. He pays no attention to you as you approach. Yet he mumbles quietly to himself, just loud enough for you to make out a few words. The king's eyes shift violently towards the crystalline petal collection that you've acquired on your journey. The king fixates on the petals for a moment, then averts his gaze from yours as the room grows dark and still. I've been expecting you, wanderer. At long last, you've arrived. I presume you know very little of the petals you hold. Allow me to share with you the tale of how they came to be. There's a story of a lonely man who lives in a very lonely, dreary, grey world, for everything is dull, drab, and melancholy. The air, bitter. The sky, blackened. The dark sky looms and is filled with even darker clouds. The desolate land in which the man treads is nothing but flat and endless. Hi, Archie! There lies no clear direction to travel, no destination in the bleak landscape. The atmosphere encompassing this realm has a distinct void of purpose, and all who wander here are most certainly lost. The man walks through these fields each day, every day, alone, until one special day, in the middle of these dreary... Thanks, Steam notification for blocking the word. Fields, he discovers something full of color and life. Something vibrant, something which radiates a rare, special glow, unlike anything he's ever seen before. He carefully approaches and looks down to what seems to be causing this dilemma. Before him sits a flower. But not just any flower, mind you. No, this flower is special. This beautiful, intoxicating flower is unlike anything he's seen before. It radiates a positive energy, a powerful aura, and upon seeing this flower, the man feels instantaneously euphoric. He lays down next to the flower and admires its beauty, basking in the constant flow of energy that it gives him. He wonders, how can something with beauty such as this exist in a world engulfed in seemingly endless darkness and gloom? And with that, he spends as much time as he can with the flower, until the sun inevitably sets, and darkness begins to fall. It's time to go home. It's time to leave. It's time to say goodbye. The man crawls to his feet, dusts himself off with a few brushes of his attire, and feels noticeably happier than he did before coming upon the flower. He then walks home and enters his small wood house, built into bed, made of rough woolen color... English is hard. Rough woolen covers, and tries to his best as he can to get some sleep. As he closes his eyes, the last thought in his mind before slipping into unconsciousness is the flower, and the flower is what he dreams of at night. When he wakes with this incredible dream of spending more time with the flower, he decides to get dressed and immediately return to the field in which he saw the thing that radiated such fragrance and beauty, hoping that it would still be there waiting for him. After traveling, he arrives in the field, and there the flower still remains. So the man happily lays down next to the flower once more, just as he laid there down, just as he had done the day before, and begins to enjoy the energy that the flower pours into him, admiring the petals endlessly. I like how the game decided to give me a ton of story. Right when I said I need to be somewhere, I'm going to end it right here. I was like, I'm going to finish this room. Game gave me a really freaking long story. Just saying.
Yeah, it did.
And then, darkness falls once more. The man begins to leave, but this time less satisfied than before. He arrives at home, gets into bed, and tries to sleep, but this too offers a different experience than the previous night. As he closes his eyes, the man is restless. He's uncomfortable. He's perturbed. And he has a difficult time falling asleep because the flower that made him so happy isn't with him anymore. The flower is somewhere else, in some field, growing in such a dark, all on its own, and he too is all on his own. The man begins to bellow and weep, until eventually he cries himself to sleep. He awakens in the morning, immediately gets dressed in whatever clothing he can find, and bolts out the door into the field, not slowing his pace even for a moment until he arrives. He leaps through the dirt and lays with the flower all day long, enjoying the energy that it radiates, just as he did the days prior. And just as the days prior had ended, the darkness falls once again. The man gets up and begins to walk home, saddened and burdened with a heavy heart, but something calls him back. A feeling in the pit of his stomach, a hole in his heart. He turns and walks back to the flower, and he plucks it from the soil in which it has grown its entire life. He puts it in his pocket and hurries home excitedly. He lays in bed with a smile on his face and sets the flower on his pillow. He begins to admire the beauty of the petals all night as they continue to bring him so much joy, so much bliss that he had never had the pleasure of feeling before. The man is beyond content. For the first time in his life in this dark, ugly world, the man is happy. For now he gets to spend all of his time with the flower, and he gets to enjoy it constantly, whenever and however he'd like, never having to say goodbye. As the days goes on, they quickly turn to nights, and the nights quickly turn back into days. After a week has passed and his heart is full to the brim, the man notices something about the flower that he hadn't noticed before. The glow it once had has begun to fade. The color that was once so vibrant has begun to go pale. The leaves that were once so lively and green had begun to wilt, and the stem which held it so high above the ground had become soft and started to rot. The flower was dying, and the man knew what was coming next. He watered it profusely. He nurtured it gingerly. The man did everything he could to save the flower from an impending doom, but in the end, as the days turned to weeks and the air grew cold and increasingly bitter, the flower lost its petals and the stem lost its color. The flower lost its energy. And then, as if all of the happiness in the world had been sucked out and blown to ashes in the wind, the flower died. The man lamented. He wailed. He cried tears heavy to match the burden and pain within his heart. For the only thing that had ever made him happy, or ever had filled the void within him, was now gone. And the man knew deep within his soul that it was never coming back. He killed the thing that he loved and treasured so dear because he wanted and craved it so badly. He wanted it for himself. His selfishness, his greed, his possession killed the flower, and he would never know happiness again. I killed her. I killed her vibrance, her beauty, her radiant energy. I plucked her from what she needed to grow and be herself. Like a candle burning in a wind-swept corridor, I carelessly snuffed out the flame that once shone so bright and lit the way to a better, brighter, happier future for all. Instead of enjoying my flower for what she was, instead of being appreciative of the time I had with her, I couldn't have just been content with the circumstances. I plucked her from the very life source she needed in order to flourish and grow. I sought to possess her, and in turn I lost her, forever. My flower was no longer what she once was when I came to know her, but instead left as an empty, soulless husk of her former self, and so too am I now. If only I sought to appreciate rather than possess, she would still bless this world with her radiant beauty, my beautiful, unique, rare little flower, the only thing that ever brought me joy. And now I sit alone, all alone atop my throne of nothing, a crown atop my head of emptiness only to match my heart. Isn't it funny? If I had not been so selfish, I could have had it all. But because all is what I wanted, nothing is what I got. I deserve my emptiness. I implore you to heed my warning. For if you make the same mistakes that have brought me to this life of misery, then you will surely deserve the same fate that hath begotten this old, bitter, lonely king. Now leave your petals upon the table. Walk away from them once and for all. Leave them with me before they consume your soul too. Leave the petals. You scrounge together all of your crystalline petals and place them gently onto the wooden table before the king. They begin to shake, tremble, and form into shapes before your very eyes. You are wise beyond your years. You are smarter and better than I could have ever hoped to be. Our fates will not be shared on this day. Fresh, delicate flowers sit upon the table. They give us a sickly sweet aroma that's rather intoxicating. You can't help but feel better when you're near them. I already gave her a token, right? And I already did all this stuff. Okay, cool. Time to go through the right door. The halls are reflection. You can hear a fire crackling in the distance and feel warmth its flames provides. The room smells clean and pure as if it's been well maintained and actively lived in. And this is where I'm gonna really quickly save file 1. And this is where I must leave. Because I have places to be. Yeah, I got places to be. So, y'all, I know this is a bit of a longer game, but I hope you guys enjoyed nonetheless. And you can already hear people, but let's raid the Witchy and Nushi, okay? Yeah, let's do this raid. Okay, y'all, I can't really stay for the raid to go through because I really need to get going, but I will see you guys Okay, once it lets me click raid now. Okay. I will see you guys later on though. Bye-bye!
Bye bye.